Hi, my name is Becky Carlson. I am in this 310 online social work class. The behavioral change topic that I chose was negative self talk. Um, it is a pretty self explanatory topic. Negative self talk is just talking down to yourself, really, and it's something that's hard to explain because it's so self-explanatory, so I'm not going to explain it. However, this is something that I have struggled with for a while, so I was very happy to have the opportunity through this class to be able to actually focus on it and try to improve like my behavior around it, which in turn means reducing the amount of negative self-talk that I do to myself. A lot of my negative self-talk does come from anxiety and depression that I have dealt with and have been dealing with for a few years. It, after a while, becomes more of a habit, and the more you talk about something, it kind of just gets drilled into your brain. So basically why I chose this topic was I found myself constantly getting very down on myself. I would wake up in the morning and look in the mirror while I was brushing my teeth and just be so disgusted and talk so negatively towards myself and my body and my mind and every part of me that I could pick apart and criticize and negatively talk about, I would. And then also that ended up kind of seeping into my self-deprecating humor, which can be funny because it is a type of humor. However, I found that the root of that is because I was talking so far down to myself that I almost didn't want to hear anything good from anyone else. And so I figured if I was self-deprecating, it would kind of make that standard that, like, no, like, I am this way, I am bad, I am whatever all these things are. And I found that actually affected my relationships poorly, and it just made me feel bad about myself anyways because I wouldn't let anyone talk me up. So the process so far since choosing this topic, it's a little bit difficult because it is such a habit, and half the time, and I know that I've done it more than I've even recognized, but half the time that I have been telling it to myself, I don't even realize it. I don't catch myself, and I don't do anything to change that behavior. So the real trick has been to kind of nip it in the bud, essentially. So when I find myself talking to myself like that, to recognize right off the bat that that is negative self-talk, that that's not normal, and that is the behavior that I'm trying to change. And then after that, I the only way that I have figured out how to try to reverse it or to kind of make the negative self-talk away is to turn it into a positive self-talk. So I would look at myself and be like, I really like, my nails today, they look nice, and like that's not a bad part about myself. And although that's physical, it still helps to have something positive to talk about for myself. As far as like internal things that I get down about myself, I have to remind myself that I'm smart, I'm capable, I'm a kind, compassionate person. It doesn't matter, how people have treated me is not a reflection of me as a person, and that's something that I need to remember, and that's a big thing that has gone into negative self-talk. Also, being around other people, like my friends, they aren't my friends because they hate me. They're my friends because they like me and things about me. And so when they compliment me or say something nice, I have to catch myself and not go back at them and be like, no, I'm not. Like, why would you say that? Oh, you don't have to lie. Like, those are all things that I have a really bad habit of saying. And so since then, I've kind of learned to just say thank you and like to truly appreciate what they're telling me and to internalize it and actually take that for what it's worth. And instead of contradicting what they're saying, kind of embracing it, and using that to help me fight my negative self-talk so far. I do still feel like I need to work on an actual way to measure my progress, and I'm still trying to figure that out, whether that be some sort of like sticky note that I carry around, like tallying how many times I do it, or making note of exactly what I like thought and then what I turn that thought into. So that is still a process, but even the fact that I've been stopping in my tracks and recognizing negative self-talk is a big step for me, because it is something that happens so often and it is such a habit. So yeah, I look forward to seeing my progress by the end of the semester.